Welcome to Motivational Moment. I'm Coach Rosa Smith-Montanaro, your training and workshop specialist with RochesterWorks. Today, we're going to talk about a theme that we're on, mental health, for the month of May. And I've been talking about different emotions, feelings that you'll want to conquer, maybe, get some tips on overcoming that are very common in our job search process when we're changing careers or, currently looking for employment or even starting a business. And this week, we're going to talk about fatigue. It's exhausting looking for a job. It's very draining starting a business, just even changing careers, writing your resume, interviewing, preparing. It's a lot of work and it can cause fatigue. And so I'm going to give you 3 tips. And these tips are proven to be useful and helpful. And then I'm going to give you an action item. And we're keeping these weeks short and sweet and to the point. So this first tip I'm giving you is making rest a priority. You see, sleep is when the body heals, and it's really, really important, but also making sure you're restoring your energy. And so you need rest, you need sleep. But one of the things you might want to do to help you have a routine to sleep better is avoiding electronics right before bed, because they stimulate your brain and they cause you to feel more alert. And we don't want that. So what you want to do is you want to reduce the amount of electronics that you're exposed to, and especially right before bed, and create a nice, dark, cool environment to sleep in. The body sleeps better when it's cooler, when the temperature's lower. The second tip I'm giving you is physical movement, getting some movement in. Exercise, I should just say motion rather than exercise, because a lot of people don't like the word exercise. But see, motion creates emotion, and motion creates energy. So energy creates energy, and you want to get moving. Now, I understand, because I have a chronic pain. So I understand pain and how it can be so easy to not want to move. But you know what I found? I find all throughout my life, and I've had this in my life for all of my life. So I'm going to say easily now over 40 years, since I was a teenager. If I stay still too long, it just makes the pain worse. It's better to get up and move, to stretch, to walk, gentle movement, swimming, moving in bodies of water. That energizes your body and helps alleviate fatigue, gives you that second wind. There's so many times that before the pandemic, when I would go to the gym, and I would go religiously to the gym, because I knew how much better I'd feel when I was done. But I would actually feel so exhausted that I'd want to fall asleep. I knew that if I closed my eyes when I parked that car and I would have just laid back for a moment, I would have gone sound asleep. But then I walk into the place and I start moving around, listening to the music. And within no time at all, class was over and I got my second wind. The same thing is true for just going for a little walk. The third tip, my friends, is avoiding stimulants. You see, stimulants like caffeine, even nicotine, they have a residual effect. They give you a boost and then you have a crash. Now, what's really interesting is studies show that when you have caffeine and sugar together, like Diet Coke or coffee and cookies, you get a real interesting dynamic in the brain. It's highly addictive. The caffeine and the sugar combination, it just, bam, gives you a rush, and then you crash. And it causes a lot of brain drain. It makes your mood plummet. It makes you feel tired, and it makes you feel sometimes kind of down. And so what I'm going to ask you to do is make sure that this is your action step, avoiding caffeinated products after 3 p.m. And just for the next week, try something. Try resisting the temptation of having a sugary treat with your caffeine. I found giving up Diet Coke was a major difference in my energy at the end of the day. Major. I loved Diet Coke. It was like my little treat to myself at the end of the day. And I just started reading about the effects of artificial sweeteners with caffeine, and it was like crack for your brain. It's not good. And I decided to just, for the most part, not do it every day. And I could immediately feel the difference in my body and in my wellness, my mental attitude. Really big difference. I hope this was helpful. I'd love you to share this with your friends. Give us a comment, follow our page, and I hope to see you in some of our workshops. I look forward to seeing you next week. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Take care.